Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Since Arjun has done a full-fledged
kirtan and Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, I will start with Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Please repeat
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskritya Naram chaiva narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tado Jayam Dhiraye Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki. Hare Krishna. I welcome all of you. Warm welcome to all of you. Today's session of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Today we will discuss and try to understand 4.2.11 and 13. Since there are three shlokas, I will be leading the shlokas. You all can after me recite it. So after that we will straight away go for the class. Please repeat after me. Yesha me shisyatam prapto yanme duhitur agrahit Panim mukataha Savitriya iva sadhuvat Grihitva mrugasavakshaya Grihitva mrugasavakshyaha Panim markatalochanaha Pratyuttanabhivadare Vachapyakrutanochitam Lupta kriyaya suchaye Manine bhinna setave Anichannapi adam palam Sudrayim giram. Please repeat the translation after me. He has already accepted himself as my subordinate by marrying my daughter in the presence of fire and Brahmanas. He has married my daughter who is equal to Gayatri and has pretended to be just like an honest person. Daksha's statement that Lord Shiva pretended to be an honest person means that Shiva was dishonest because in spite of accepting the position of Daksha's son-in-law, he was not respectful to Daksha. Please repeat after me. He has eyes like a monkey's. Yet he has married my daughter. Whose eyes are just like those of a deer cub. Nevertheless, he did not stand up to receive me. Nor did he think it well fit to welcome me with sweet words. I had no desire to give my daughter to this person who has broken all rules of civility because of not observing the required rules and regulations. He is impure. But I was obliged to hand over my daughter to him, just as one teaches the messages of the Vedas to a Shudra. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki. A Shudra is forbidden to take lessons from the Vedas because a Shudra is unclean habits, not worthy, is not to hear such instructions. This restriction that one has acquired Brahminical qualifications, one should not read the Vedic literature. The restriction is like the restriction that a law student should not enter a law college unless he has been graduated from all lower. According to the estimation of Daksha, Shiva was unclean in habits, worthy and not to have the hand of his daughter. Sati, who was so enlightened, and beautiful and chaste. The words used in this connection is Bhinna Saitave, which refers to one who has all the regulations for good behavior, by not following the Vedic. In other words, according to Daksha, the entire transaction of the marriage of his daughter was not in
Om Agnanatimirandasya Gnananjakalam Nilitamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Kripa Tamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinata Ramananda Madhavam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Dev Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Rama Rama Hari Jaitam Surator Mama Mandamate Gati Sarvasvapadam Bojo Madanamo Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Govindaya Namo Namaha Pankajanabhaya Pankajamaline Namaha Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangraye. Hare Krishna. I wish I had not gotten these slokas. Where Daksha Prajapati is speaking very harshly, very rudely, and very rudely. Mahabhagavata Shri Shiva. Very harsh. I wish I had not gotten these slokas, but unfortunate. I got three slokas. Daksha has really insulted Lord Shiva. He says he has already accepted himself as my subordinate, my daughter, by marrying my daughter in the presence of fire and Brahmanas. He has married my daughter who is equal to Gayatri, and has pretended to be just like an honest person. So when you say you have pretended to be an honest person, what does it? You are not. That you are not. How can somebody say? Just imagine. See, there is one saying in Vinash Kale. This is exactly applicable. In the case of how can somebody insult Lord Shiva? Lord Shiva, who is greatest Vaishnava and greatest Bhagavata, who is also Amsha of Lord Shri. He is not. Actually, there is big difference between Vishnu Tattva and Lord Shiva. So when the example Srila Prabhupada always, when you put yogurt milk, it will become the yogurt. But that yogurt cannot become milk. Always can become. But milk always can become. That is the difference between Lord Shiva. That is the difference between Lord Shiva and Vaishnavanam. Such exalted position Lord Shiva has. So still Daksha thought it fit, and Daksha of all, and Daksha is a Vaishnava actually. He is a Vaishnava. He is a follower of Vishnu. He is a follower of Vishnu. He was speaking such incredibly rude and insulting words to Lord Shiva beyond anybody's imagination. You can imagine how puffed up he was, and how arrogant he was. This is called exactly Vinash Kale. I'm going to talk about it. So many instances in Ramayana, Mahabharata, who became intoxicated by their power and by their education. education, education, they did incredibly rude and unfortunate things, which brought about their own. They destroyed themselves. They destroyed themselves. And whoever was dependent on them, everybody got destroyed. I will tell you about it later. Then he says, he has eyes like a monkeys. See, he has eyes like a monkey. Yet he married my daughter. Just like those eyes are just like those of a cub. Deer cub. That means my daughter's eyes are so beautiful. His eyes are like monkey. And nevertheless, he didn't stand up to receive me. That was the only mistake to receive me. Nor did he think it fit to welcome me with words. He should have been glorified. He should have been glorified. By his own son-in-law. See, in our culture, son-in-law means he should look at his father-in-law as if he is like his own father. My daughter got recently married. And my damaji, he calls me Appa. He calls me Appa. Sindhu calls me Appa. Like Sindhu calls me Appa. She also calls me. Believe me, when he first addressed me, he told me, I am going to call you Appa. Because I hold you in the same position as my father. I really felt very happy. That is the humility. So this Daksha he didn't consider the position of Lord Shiva. What is Daksha in front of Lord? There was absolutely no need for Lord Shiva to talk to him in sweet words. Get up. Now I'm sitting on this Vyasa. I will not give my example. How many of you know Radhesham from ISKCON Pune? I have seen one video where Radhesham Prabhu is giving and his Guru Maharaj Rāgānuga Swami silently comes and sits in the crowd. Radhesham Prabhu was so much in the flow. He didn't observe that Rāgānuga Maharaj had come and the moment his eyes fell on His Holiness Rāgānuga Swami Maharaj from his seat like a spring. How many of you see this video? He sprang from his seat, rushed to Rāgānuga Maharaj, clasped both his legs. He said, Maharaj, I am sorry in front of you. I sat on the Vyasa. I started giving a class. Then Rāgānuga Maharaj told him, I want to hear you. Please continue. But he never. Then Rāgānuga Maharaj, and same thing happened in my life also. Once what happened? My Shiksha Guru Veerakrishna, after he left Bahrain, he came to Bahrain. I bought him in the evening too. And that day I had a class. Then I asked Veerakrishna, Prabhuji, you are also coming. You may also sit in the class. But in front of you, how can I sit on the Vyasasana? Then he said, that is all old days. Those days are gone. Those days are gone. I am happy that you are keeping that bhav, that I am your Shiksha Guru. No, you can continue your class. I will not be sitting in the audience. You can go ahead and give the class. Why I am telling this? When an exalted personality amongst us, we should not expect any respect from him. But we should be all giving all the respect. Forget about giving exalted personalities. A fellow Vaishnava comes. Balaram Kikkar Prabhu comes in front of me. Okay, I am elder to him by age. But mentally I have to offer him because a Vaishnava is coming in front of me. So when this is the position, how can Daksha expect Lord Shiva to get up and talk to him and greet him totally, and he is becoming angry. And he is comparing. He has eyes of a, whereas my daughter's eyes are so beautiful like a deer. How arrogant and how vinashkale. Then in the next shloka he says, I had no desire to give my daughter to this person. Insult का भी एक हद होता है. इतना सारा insult. I had no desire to give my daughter to this person who has broken all rules of civility. In a nutshell, he is worse than a Shudra. I am not saying Shudra means not by birth. Shudra means not by birth. Somebody should mistake me. I will come to that. Because of not observing the required rules and regulations, impure. But I was obliged to hand over my daughter to him. One teaches the message of the Vedas
teaches the message of the Vedas to if somebody teaches the message of a Vedas to a Shudra, giving my daughter in marriage is as bad as that is. And Prabhupada is very nice mentioning in the Shudra is forbidden to take lessons of the Vedas. Not he is Shudra by birth. He is Shudra by birth. He is unclean. Because he is unclean in habits. Suppose a Brahmana born in a Brahmana family is regularly drinking. He is smoking. And easy fit to receive Vedic instructions. Yes or no? Correct? No. So nobody becomes a Brahmana. Kshatriya or a Vaishya or Shudra by. So Srila Prabhupada is giving the example. A law student. He cannot go and sit in the law college. Unless he has passed from LKG, UKG 1 to 10. Then only he should have passed the entrance exam. Or then only he can go and sit in the law college. Same applies to medical college. Now can I go now at this age and say I want to study medicine? Give me a seat in the medical college. They will say something is wrong with Prabhuji. Correct? So for everything there has to be a qualification. That's why there is a very beautiful sloka. Janmana jayate shudraha samskarat dvijamuchyate veda patanat bhavet vipra brahma janati iti brahmanaha. Everybody, when they are born, they are Shudra only. Janmana jayate Shudraha. But samskarat dvijamuchyate. By obtaining the necessary samskaras, they will become twice born. Samskarat dvijamuchyate. Veda patanat bhavet vipra. By carefully, scrutinizingly studying the Vedas, he will be called as a Vipra. Brahma janati iti brahmanaha. That means if you have realized Brahman, then only you are called as a Brahmana. So now tell me, what is our position? I'm not talking about you. I am talking about myself. I do not consider myself to be a Brahmana at all. Just because I am born from a Brahmana family, I will not become a Brahmana. A surgeon's child will not automatically become a surgeon. Correct? A lawyer's son or daughter will not automatically become a lawyer. A high court or Supreme Court judge doesn't automatically become qualified to become a judge when she grows up. Correct? So for everything, there is a training. There is a achar, vichar, vyavahar. That's why Krishna says, Chatur varna maya srishta guna karma vibhagashaha. By your guna, means by your qualities, and karma, by your activities. Then only you are considered a either Kshatriya, Brahmana, or Vaishya, or Shudra. Correct? So nobody should be under the illusion that because my parents are Brahmanas, or I have a surname Sharma, or I have a surname Pandey, or I have a surname Mishra, I already become automatically Brahmana. Say, Prabhuji. Just because I have a surname Sharma, I will not become a Brahmana actually. Okay, you can be proud, you can be happy, but it is like the elephants. How they take a nice bath. After that, they put all the mud once again on their body. That is also like that. Okay, if your parents perform a samskar, so if your parents perform a samskar, and if they teach you the science of Krishna consciousness, then only these parents. That's why it's mentioned in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Nobody should become a father. Nobody should become a mother. Nobody should become a husband, and nobody should become a guru if he is not qualified to take that particular jiva back home, back to Godhead. Yesterday in JSS Mahamilan, Guru Maharaj was saying, what he was saying? Even we want the children to go back home, back to Godhead, not only the devotees, even their children also should go back home, back to Godhead. So I was thinking today while sitting, see how fortunate are the children who are born to devotees actually. See, I know so many devotee children, I'm not saying they all have become saints. No, I agree, they are not big saints, but still they are 1 million times better than the karmi children. Recently, we read in news that Sudiksha Konanki. How many of you know that episode? She was the daughter of Indian parents, and she was studying in USA in a very prestigious university. Then she is how many years old? She is just 20 years old, only 20 years. Then she goes to
which place? Samudra, there is one resort, it is in Dominican Republic. She goes to Dominican Republic in a resort, and along with her friend, Joshua, his name, he is an American. They were all in a group. So they went to a bar in that resort. They were drinking up to early morning, 4:30. 20-year-old girl. She's not a very 28 or 30, no, 20-year-old girl, she's just a kid actually, So she had the freedom to go to a bar with her boyfriend, binge drinking up to 4:30 a.m. in the morning. Then this Joshua and this girl have gone to the sea actually, See, there should be a limit to one's madness actually. No, I have all, see, if you see their interviews and all, those parents, that mother couldn't even face the cameras. She broke down sobbing, she was crying piteously. I felt so bad seeing that, this thing, But the father was saying, you need some privacy at this hour. We would request the Dominican Republican government to declare her as dead. We don't want to pursue. Nobody knows where she has gone. And that boy says, when you have been drinking up to 4:30, what does he know? He doesn't know. But some lifeguards say, we have pulled her out. But after that, she is not traceable. Whether she has drowned, somebody has kidnapped her, somebody has, whether she met with an accident or died somewhere, nobody knows actually. And the grieving parents, they say, please declare her as dead. When I saw that, I was thinking, see the difference between the devotees. See, today that Arjun, he was giving a class actually. He's such a small kid actually. Right from Jairada Madhava up to Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, like an accomplished preacher, he was preaching actually. Then I was wondering, see how fortunate these children are. How fortunate. You see the other people, they will give them all the freedom. They will give them all the freedom. Whatever makes you happy, go for it. That is the mantra nowadays. Parents, their mantra is, आपको जो भी खुशी मिलता है, जिधर भी खुशी मिलता है, आप जाओ, मुश्किल नहीं है. Whether it is as per the dharmic principles, as per dharmic regulations, no questions asked. If you want to go to Dominican Republic, go, I will sponsor you. So now they are crying actually. Now they are crying. I have all the sympathies for them. I am not trying to criticize them. But see the consequences. See, in another instance, what happened? One girl, again she went to the sea to enjoy with her friends. And one of her friends was drowning. Then one army major, retired army major, he tried to save that girl. And in the bargain, both the girl also drowned, and this girl, without even caring for her life, she tried to pull out the retired army major from the water, but without success. So her friend and the army major, both of them died. She says, even after 10 years of this, वो जो हादसा हो गया, 10 साल के बाद भी my emotional trauma is still very high. I cannot forget it actually. Every day I get nightmares. See, when your children ask you for something which is not permissible, which is against the rule of Shastras, if we say, beta, no, I am saying no to this because this is going to invite trouble for you. If you say that, they may protest, they may cry for a while, and after that, because my parents have told several times to me no, and I have fought with my mama, I have fought with my father. I still remember, when we were going from Mysore to Hassan, we used to go by train actually. My father's place is Hassan, and we used to stand by the train. There would be a door. Me and my brother, we used to feel very proud actually. Why should we go and sit inside the seat? I will be holding one bar, he will be holding another bar. It was a very heavy metal door, which was kept open. And sometimes what happens, due to the force, momentum, sometimes it gets closed actually. If you have seen the old trains, I don't know whether you have seen. Nowadays, I think it is not there. It would get come and shut actually, shut. So if that happens, both of us would be, thrown out actually. My father and mother, they would be horrified seeing that. Some 5-10 times they said, please don't stand there. Then my mother told father, Dandam Dashagunam Bhavet. So my father came, both of us got one nice smack on our this thing. Then he pulled us and he bought us and we sat in the train. Then me and my brother, Nandamukunda Prabhu and me were talking. He was telling me, Ravi, we should not talk to Appa, never in our life. Really, believe me, we should not talk to him. How he insulted us like this, We were so happily standing. Because of this, all our trip, everything is ruined. Now when I see, do you think I carry that bitterness in me? No, I feel happy that at least, my father saved our lives actually. Similarly, see, when you beat your children, nothing is going to happen. Don't see all these so-called modern day psychologists, modern day counselors, they will say, never touch your children. There is a saying in English, spare the rod and spoil the child. Spare the rod, it's okay, it's okay. I am not saying take a big lathi and beat your child. But once in a way, if does something, one chata, ek chota sa ek chata, or some back, you fool, don't you know you should not be doing this? There is nothing wrong with this. There is nothing wrong with this. You should, in fact, you should be doing this. Earlier days when we were in school, we used to get nicely, we should get nicely. There was an N.S. Sitaramaya, he was our headmaster in Sharda Villa school where I used to study. He used to come to class with a kacha jubba and topi, with all his tilak and everything. Many times, he was the headmaster. If there would be class monitors. See, suppose there is one class, the teacher will not come now. The monitor will be noting everybody. And we are supposed to do some homework or something like that. If they find you chit-chatting, he will write our names and then he will give to the headmaster. So, and I was a very talkative person when I was childhood. Now my talking has reduced actually. Because I started speaking for Krishna, now I don't speak much nonsense. Earlier I was a very talkative person. Invariably, he would write my name and he would get that. And we used to go, and after that class, we had to go to the headmaster's room. There he would have a small, this big, small cane, cane, rattan cane, like Singapore they give this thing, like that. And we have to hold our hand. He used to give 3 shots actually, 3 shots. Trust me, even after 1 week, if you touch your hand, it would pain actually. Such a nice beating, caning actually. So as a result, the class was so silent and everybody would be sitting doing some productive work. But now there is nothing. So this why I narrated in this, Vinash Kale Viprit Buddhi. Vinash Kale Viprit Buddhi. Just imagine, whole night you have been drinking, early morning 4:30, 20-year-old girl, you go to see. What can you expect? Even as grown-ups, I would never venture out of my home during night actually. Something can happen night, somebody can come and you can meet with an accident, or you can be mugged, or somebody can do something nonsense. Why venture out after night actually? But when you tell your children, they will not like it actually. Appa, you please be little adventurous, nothing is going to happen. These kind of protests will come, but sometimes you have to put your foot down. Put your foot down and tell the children, sorry beta. See, that they will forget. After some time they will forget it. But if they undergo some trauma, if they undergo a traumatic experience, that is going to haunt them all throughout their lives. Which is better now, tell me? If you say no to your children or you give him a smack, he may remember it for 15 minutes, half an hour, or maximum 1 day. Next day again, you hug him, everything is forgotten. But if you give him all the freedom, and if they undergo a very traumatic experience, that trauma is going to haunt them all throughout their... Everybody agree with me or not? That trauma is going to haunt them all throughout their lives. So, which is better? Parents, they have to decide. Correct? So, Vinash Kale, Viprit Buddhi. This Daksha also had the same, was in the same situation. Even if you read the scriptures, Mahabharata, what was Duryodhana, what was shortage for Duryodhana? Tell me. He had everything. What did Pandavas ask? Let me continue the class afterwards, I'll tell you. So Duryodhana, what was lacking for Duryodhana? Nothing at all. And what did Pandavas ask them? Just give us 5 villages. Correct or not? Only 5 villages, because we are Kshatriyas, we cannot perform Sandhyavandanam and Gayatri Japa and sit and do Paurohitya, they could not do that. They are rulers actually, Kshatriyas. They said, give me only 5 villages and we will rule that. So if he had given them 5 villages, what he would have lost? He was ruling the entire Bharatvarsha. Out of that 5 villages is like one small tip of a, then what was the answer he gave? I will not give that much land, even the size of the tip of a pin. If you want, you fight and take it actually. So what do you call this? Vinashkale Vipritvat. Vinashkale Vipritvat. So then, and Krishna was on their side. Bhishma was reluctantly fighting for the Kauravas. Why? Because of his vow he had taken. I had to protect the throne of Hastinapur. Bhishma Pitama had taken that vow. So look at his greatness. He was fighting actually. Although he knew that I am fighting a adharmic yuddha, unjust war. Because Dharma was on the side of Pandavas. Pandavas were great followers of Dharma. No compromise at all. You see all the 5 Pandavas. Once it so happened, some Brahmanas were troubled by dacoits or something like that. And Arjuna's Gandiva was kept in the room of Yudhishthira Maharaj. And as you know, Draupadi was the Panchali. She was the husband for all the 5 brothers. That day, she was with Yudhishthira in her private room. And this Arjuna's Gandiva was kept in the Yudhishthira's room. So Brahmanas are asking for help. As a Kshatriya, he has to go to their help. But his Gandiva is in Yudhishthira's room. So he knocked on the door and he told some Brahmanas have come asking for help. I am sorry to disturb you, but I have to take my Gandiva. Then Yudhishthira said, by all means you take it. Then he took it, he killed the dacoits and he returned the cows to Brahmanas and he came back. But he was so much filled with remorse. When my elder brother was in Ekanta with his Patni, I disturbed him. So I need to be punished. Yudhishthira Maharaj was convincing him, Arey Baba, you have not done any mistake. You have taken my permission and you have come inside my room. There is no mistake at all. But they were so dharmic, that he thought it's a breach of the dharma. That to enter the room of my elder brother when he was in Ekanta with his wife is a breach of dharma. So as a result, he had to undergo penances actually. So why I am saying all this to you is, the 5 Pandavas, the Pancha Pandavas, they were so dharmic, they used to follow dharma not only in spirit, even in letter also. We follow dharma only in spirit actually. We'll say, Prabhu, those restrictions are given only because you have to progress in Krishna consciousness. It is not for senior devotees like us. We give some explanation. हम लोग के लिए नहीं है. अभी जो मंदिर में आ रहा है ना, अभी जो नया दीक्षा लिया है ना, they have to follow all these rules and regulations nicely, but this is not for a senior devotee like me. The moment I say this, I am not a devotee, I am a big rascal. We can never compromise on the rules and regulations. The way Pandavas led their life, we also have to lead. Okay, there will be some mistakes. Sometimes out of voluntarily or some involuntarily, we have to feel remorse. We have to apologize. We have to regret. Not to say that I am a senior devotee, even if I make a mistake, it's okay. We should never think like that. So these 5 Pandavas, they asked only for 5 villages, and Duryodhana said, you fight and you take it. As a result, what happened? He not only ruined himself, all his 100 brothers, everybody got killed in the battlefield. Correct? So this is the activities of those Vinashkale Vipritpati. Daksha also is in the same situation, and he is abusing Lord Shiva, which is very, even to hear this, you feel so sad actually. So as a result, he definitely, that the preachers in future, they are going to narrate that incident to you, how he bought his ruination. But in this class, one is that of Duryodhana. Second is Ravanji. Ravana was a Brahmana by birth, correct? And he had mastered all the Vedas. And he knew all the Nyaya, Dharma, Tarka, everything was known to Ravanji. But what kind of activities he did? He abducted Mother Sita, who is the eternal consort of Narayana, and he wanted to enjoy with her. Can anybody imagine going to that extent? See, we all commit mistakes. Suppose Ekadashi day, by mistake, I ate some prasad given in some temple, which was made up of rice. Or instead of 16 rounds, I chanted only 15 rounds. बाद में book रहता है ना, you write it down. Whatever rounds you have not chanted, that you write it in a notebook. Don't ever open that book, because if you open that book, there will be tens of thousands of balance rounds, so which will never complete actually. It's so difficult. So why I am saying this is, Ravan, he was a very learned man. He knew all the rules and regulations of the Shastras, but what activity he did? Mandodari was crying and she advised Ravan, why you have brought Sita? Please return her to Lord Sri Rama. His own brother Vibhishan told him in so many ways, please return Sita Mata to Sri Ramchandra. But he was so adamant. As a result, he got killed in the battle. Not only him, the whole of Lanka was completely vanquished. Correct? Everybody agree? That was the Hitler, modern times Hitler. Kamsa, what was Kamsa did? Kamsa also same thing. Every time he was doing adharmic activities. He was become a terror actually. And Krishna had to kill him himself. Then Shishupala, Jarasandha. See, these demoniac people, they are very, very expert in bringing their own destruction. Mohini Bhasmasura. Bhasmasura, he did such a grand tapasya. He got a boon from Lord Shiva that if I keep my hand on anybody's head, they should be reduced to ashes. Is this the boon to ask? When Lord Shiva appears in front of you and he says, what is it that you want? He could have asked for bhakti, he could have asked for gnana, he could have asked for vairagya, he could have asked for spiritual knowledge. Instead of all that, all he is asking is, if I keep my head on somebody, they should be burnt to ashes. Is this the boon you ask? That means you can imagine what is his consciousness. See, only doing tapasya or only rigidly following the rules and regulations, even that also is done in the mode of goodness, mode of passion and mode of ignorance. That's why it is mentioned, even in our Vaishnava Sampradaya also is mentioned, don't follow rules and regulations only for the sake of it. There is one Sanskrit word for that. Can anybody tell me? Niyamagraha. Just for the sake of it. Why I am following the rules and regulations? No idea. Why I am doing this? No idea. I have to do it. Niyamagraha. As a result, what happens? When you are very expert in Niyamagraha, your heart becomes like that of a stone. You will never be compassionate towards anybody. If somebody does a small mistake also, you will fire him left and right and you commit Vaishnava Aparadha and you invite so many bad reactions. No, does that mean to say that you should not follow any niyama? No, that is not my intention. You have to follow the rules and regulations nicely. That is very much necessary. But what I am trying to say, why I am doing it? That is very essential. So, this Ravan, so many advice was given to him, but he was not in a mood to listen. As a result, whole of Lanka got vanquished. Kamsa, he bought his own ruination by going against Krishna. He killed the children actually. So Narad Muni, he accelerated the process. He'd come and told, Arey Baba, why you are sparing their lives? Because, even the Papa, Rakshasas are doing, that tumbler, it should become full. Then only the Supreme Lord will come to annihilate them. So Narad Muni accelerated his moksha, See, and whoever gets killed by Krishna, definitely that is also very, they will attain liberation. There is no doubt. But we don't want to aspire for that kind of liberation, So Kamsa was killed by Krishna. So all these demoniac people, by doing repeatedly demoniac acts, insulting the Vaishnavas, harming the Vaishnavas. Hiranyakashipu, if you go to his prison house, there were so many saintly people were imprisoned, and their guards, Hiranyakashipu's guards, were flogging them, beating them, plucking their eyes out, removing their nails. To whom? To the devotees of the Lord. What is their mistake? Mistake was, he told them, Hiranyakashipaya Namaha. You should say, don't say Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. You should glorify me. And those who went against him, they were imprisoned, they were tortured. And when Prahlad Maharaj went, he started crying actually. He could not see. How can my father do this kind of atrocity? See, there are many demons. But Hiranyakashipu, Kamsa, they are all very great demons. Hitler, see, we are all mini demons.
we are all mini demons. घर में थोड़ा प्रसाद आने के लिए आधा घंटे लेट हो गए ना, you start firing your wife left and right. Don't you know I am going to office? Don't you know I am taking care of all of you? Why there is a delay in serving me prasadam? So we are this is mini demoniac mentality. That when I come home, it should be ready, prasadam should be ready on the table, served on the table. If you are doing that, I know you are all very decent guys. I used to do it once upon a time when I was young actually, before I came to ISKCON. So if you are doing, you are not doing it. If somebody is doing it, they are many demons. That is okay. But these Hiranyakashipu, Kamsa, they were not ordinary demons actually. They were extraordinary demons. They did so many atrocities that you cannot even to recite it from our mouth, we feel, very ashamed actually. That kind of atrocity. So Prahlad Maharaj saw it. Then, he was praying all the time. What he was saying? Narayan, 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 Narayan. So even his own son, he tortured him so many ways. At least at that time, he should have thought, I am torturing my own son. Then Prahlad, you know all the story. Where is he? He is everywhere. Then Narasimhadeva appears, he kills. Then Narasimhadeva was asking Prahlad Maharaj, you ask some boon. You ask some boon. Then Prahlad, you all know Bhagavatam. Prahlad Maharaj says, I am not a businessman. Not that I, did some bhakti to you. You have to give me something in return. Please, I don't want anything. If you are so pleased with my devotion, remove from my heart, the tendency to enjoy matter. All my sense gratification, sense enjoyment. Remove from my heart that desire to enjoy my senses. And if you are so pleased, let my father get moksha, he says. Then you know what answer Narasimhadeva gives. 21 generations of your successors and 21 generations of your predecessors, including your father, everybody, you see them, they are already in Vaikuntha, they are already liberated. And Prahlad Maharaj becomes very happy. So, why I am saying this, as Vaishnavas, our children, they are blessed. Our children are blessed. They will never sit with their boyfriend in a bar, drink up to 4:30, and they will never go to beach to, enjoy actually. Our devotee children, okay, they may commit small mistakes. I will just give you a personal example. My wife and Kunjavarini Mataji and my daughter, they always scold me. They take objection. You are giving our examples in the class. You should not do that. But today I am tempted to give the example. Recently, just 15 days back, after marriage, Sindhu Kavya and my Damaji, I asked them where you are going. I just wanted to test them. Are you going to some resort or anything like that? Sindhu said, Appa, what nonsense you are talking. I am your daughter. I will not go to a resort. We will go to Varanasi. So they went to Varanasi. They stayed there for 1 week. They had very beautiful darshan of Lord Shiva. They saw all the other temples. After 1 week, they came. And after that 2 days, she told me, Appa, I am again going out. Then I asked her, this time I think you are going to some tourist spot or some resort. No, Appa, we are going to Udupi. So she went to Udupi. Then she stayed there for 1 week. And while she was in Udupi, one day from Udupi to Goa, it is around 3.5 hours by road. So they went to Goa. So she told me, Appa, I am going to Goa with Satya today. I said, okay. Then she sent some photos, boat rowing and all. Next day when I called her, she was near the pond. That is Madhvacharya's, where Madhvacharya used to take, there is one house also, Madhvacharya used to take his bath. I asked, what is this? Yesterday you went to Goa. Appa, somehow I didn't feel happy there. And Udupi's pull was so much. Yesterday evening itself we came back to Udupi. Then I should not say this. I told myself, Rāgānuga Prabhu, the way you have brought up your children, you can put a tap on your back. At least our children, they may not be saints. I am not saying they are saints, but at least they have this much consciousness. Correct? Everybody agree with me? Our children are chanting. Okay, they may chant only one round. But they know that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They know that we have to do devotional service. They know that we have to go to temple. We have to eat prasad. These things, it will not go away just like that. Because during 0 to 5 years is called the formative age. That's when you format the soft hard disk and this thing. They say in computer lingo, format your hard disk, because it comes without anything actually. So 0 to 5 years, whatever sanskar, whatever lessons you give, you don't have to talk much. Samskar, giving samskar means people get excited. They will make the child sit in front of them, do this, do that. No need for any other thing. You simply follow your sadhana nicely. You don't have to do tons of preaching. Nothing is required. If you have done your sadhana properly, definitely they will pick up. They will pick up. I still remember, how many of you know Radhakrishna Premadas? Our God brother Radhakrishna Premadas. Whenever, once we were going in a car near Salmani Hospital, there is one photocopy center. And Radhakrishna Premadas was coming from somebody's house. He was in his Vaishnava order. Then Sindhu, Appa, Radhakant Prabhu, because she used to get excited whenever she used to see some devotees actually. Used to say, Appa, Samudra Chaitanya Das Prabhu is coming there. And now when I viewed in the hindsight, I am thinking, see, they had so much of respect for the devotees, so much of respect for the Vaishnavas actually. That will never go away. That will never go away. Because to erase the memories of Krishna consciousness is impossible. Impossible. If you have put one seed of good samskar, that has the ability to fight and nullify 1 million tons of bad samskaras which you have planted in yourself. One seed is good enough actually. One seed if you have put. That's why we say, don't try to fight with the negative samskars which you have. It's an uphill task and it's an impossible task. Because during this janma, previous janma, we have done so many sinful activities. Everything has been registered in your subconscious mind or chitta. It is already registered there. To fight with that, impossible. Very, very difficult task. On the contrary, instead of fighting with that, what you have to do, go on creating positive samskars. Go on creating positive samskar. Today I was standing for the Shringar Arti. What kind of excitement was it? Venkateswar Govinda Prabhu started Hari Bol, then Gauranga, Nityananda. That kind of excitement. And people were so excited just to have darshan of the Lord after his Shringar. Have you not seen Radha Bharinishwar? Have you not seen Krishna Balaram? So million times you have seen. But still on a Friday morning, when the curtain is closed, you stand in front of them, people become so excited, correct? So excited. So this is what is required actually. You go to material world, people are crying actually. They are crying. They don't enjoy this bliss. This material world is created for crying only. रोने के लिए बनाया हुआ है संसार. लेकिन एक फर्क है, आप भगवान के लिए रोता है यार दूसरा के लिए रोता है. That is the difference actually. If you cry for so many other things, oh, I lost money, I lost my wife, I lost my husband, I lost my jawani, मेरा जवानी चला गया, white सफ़ेद बाल आना शुरू हो गया. Earlier how smart I was, how handsome I was. If you cry for this, you will be deep in samsara. If you cry for Krishna at least one time, romanchan बोलते हैं ना हम लोग romanchan. If you cry for Krishna, you are saved. If you cry for Maya, you are doomed actually. So choice is yours. You want to cry for Krishna or you want to cry for Maya. So this kind of excitement, and our devotees, our devotee children, they are very special. The other day I was talking to our Shubhamaya Vrajesh Prabhu. How many of you know Shubhamaya Vrajesh Prabhu? Is there anybody more humble than him in this temple? Then we were exchanging messages. Every time I would say Dandavat Pranam, he would put the photo of Sastanga, Dandavat Pranam. Then I would put one thing, he will put one more thing. Then I told him, Prabhu, I cannot beat you in this actually, because you have obtained a doctorate in this actually. Dr. Shubhamaya Vrajesh Prabhu, I cannot beat you in this, so I give up, I am sorry. This kind of humility, where you will find? Can you find it in the material world? You cannot find it in the material world. So this is really very special. This is really very special. Suppose today I get you a Rolex watch worth around 8,000 or 10,000 dinars. Rolex watch. How you will keep? Now this watch which is 100 dinar, I will go home, I will take it and I will not throw it, but I will very roughly I will keep it on the desk actually. Suppose you are wearing a 10,000 BD worth of Rolex watch. 10,000 BD. After going home, how you will keep it? You will slowly remove it, You will bring the box, there will be a very nice muslin cloth, you keep it on that, you wrap it, then you close the lid and you put it in your very safe place. Correct or not? So this Krishna consciousness, this ISKCON, this association of devotees, it's like a Rolex watch, not a 20 BD, some watch. No, this is something very, very extremely special. So we have to very safely guard it. The other day I was saying in the Bhakti Ruksha, whenever you are chanting the holy name of Krishna, don't do it like a contractor. He will finish his work. Many of you people are working in a contracting company, or some people are working for a consultancy company. You all know how contractors do their work, correct? What is their interest? Do you think they love their project? They do only love, somehow or the other, I have to finish this contract, get it approved by the consultant, and submit my final bill, and I have to get my money back, correct? So if we complete our 16 rounds the way a contractor wants to complete his job, then what happens? You will not get the result. Whenever you are chanting the holy name of Krishna, you please think about Srila Prabhupada, you think about Guru Maharaj, you think about all the Vaishnava Acharyas. They have told in no uncertain terms, Naam is everything, correct? All the Vaishnava, not forget about Vaishnava Acharyas, even Mayamadis, Islam, Christianity, you go, Christianity, they chant on the rosary, Hail Marys. You see, Muslims, they say Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, MashaAllah, they chant on the rosary. So this Naam, the holy name, has been given importance by all the religions, all the great Acharyas, everybody has spoken about it. So whenever you are doing japa, I told, I was giving pravachan, I told, you have to think, oh, this is the method recommended by Bhaktivedanta Thakur. This is the process recommended by Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, Namacharya Sriladas Thakur, Srila Prabhupada, our own Guru Maharaj. They have given us this process. So I have to work this process. If you work this process nicely, the process will start working for you. The process will start working for you. But what you have to do? You have to work the process nicely. Whenever you are chanting, think that, somehow I got a Diksha, I have to complete my 16. No. This is a process which has been gifted to me by great stalwart Vaishnava Acharyas. They were not ordinary people. They have recommended this process. So whenever you chant with full heart, with full faith, nicely listening to what you are chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. So if you chant your 16 rounds like this, trust me, 1 महीना आप try करो, बस 1 ही महीना. Forget about 1 month also. 1 week you chant your rounds like this, then you will see how the process is working. Believe me, this is not something belief or faith, kuch bhi nahi hai. This is a scientific process which Srila Prabhupada gave us, and he told Krishna consciousness is a very scientific process. If you are in the association of devotees, if you are coming to regular temple regularly, if you are honoring prasadam, if you are engaged in preaching or listening or say other seva, and if you are chanting your rounds nicely, there is no way you will be harmed by Maya. Because Krishna has told, Ananyas chintayanto mam yejana parivupasate tesham nityavayuktanam yogakshemam vahamyam. Correct? So if you are engaged nicely in this process, your responsibility belongs to Krishna. Otherwise, stress, turmoil, anxiety, so many things are in this material world. People become diabetic, people become hypertension, so many things, so many diseases come. These are all called lifestyle diseases. None of them, these are all Swayamkrita Aparad. As I told you, Vinash Kale, Viparit Buddhi. You go to any resort nowadays near your place. If there is a 1-day holiday, the whole place is filled with people. Literally like monkeys. If you keep one banana or some popcorn, all the monkeys will come. They will fight amongst each other to snatch their share. If there is 1 or 2 days holiday, if there is any beautiful spot, people throng to that place, ruin everything, and they go home. Because they want to enjoy. There is no respect for the flora. There is no respect for the fauna. You go to the zoo. I was reading one joke. Although it is a joke, it is a reality. In a foreign, in Europe or America,
people, young children go with their family to zoo. They'll say, oh, this is the American bustard. This is that bird. This is this bird. Whatever their teachers and parents have taught, they are nicely explaining. अपना इंडियन बच्चा है ना, zoo में जाएगा, पत्थर उठा दो, मारो साले को. They are telling. It was a joke actually. But when I see, this is also a form of Vinash Kale Vipriti. We don't have any regard for our own environment. We don't have any regard for our own cleanliness. अपना घर साफ करो, बाकी पूरा neighbor, put it in his neighbor's house. My house is clean. So when you have this kind of selfishness, how you can be happy? How you can be happy? If you want to see, suppose you have a nice house. Just giving an example. And your neighbors are starving to death. You think you can be happy? If you have a nice house, you have all the facilities, but your neighbors, they are starving to death. You think you can be happy? No. They will come, they will break your house door open, they will loot you and they will take away everything. That's why, this is not a belief or faith or anything like that. If you want to be happy, you have to be sensitive towards those people with whom. Suppose you are very happy, you are earning in dinars. Your housemaid, she is crying because she lost somebody, her father back home. She wants to go to India, but she doesn't have money. Then, and how much does it cost? 150 dinars. 150 dinars, you get a round trip ticket. She can go and see her father's last rites, see her body and come back. If you say, why should I give? Then you are not a Vaishnava. Correct? Everybody agree with me? Huh? You can afford 150 BD, you can afford 100 BD. If you do not give, then you are not a Vaishnava. So if you want to be happy, you have to be compassionate, you have to be, caring for the others' difficulties, enjoying in their success, becoming sad in their failure. If our children fail in the exam, how much sadness will come? Suppose you are expecting him to go to India for higher studies and he failed in the exam. What will be your mental state? But another next neighbor, बाजू वाले का लड़का फेल हो गया, क्या लगता है आपको? वो ज़्यादा उछल रहा था, देखो मेरा बेटा अच्छा हो गया, फेल हो गया वो. बोलता है कि नहीं हम लोग? Oh, I remember when I was studying, in 10th standard, we used to have one SSC magazine. I don't know, some of you may be knowing, old people like me know. There was a Mulki magazine, SSC magazine. And my mother would say, don't show it to Rajendra Pai. Rajendra Pai was my friend. We used to say, live in the same compound. And she would tell me, she would wake me up at 4 o'clock. And she would tell, just go and see Pai's room, light is on or not. Then I would, because if I go, this thing, he will find out that I am stalking on him. Then I would go hiding. Then she would say, Amma, yes, his light. See, he has already woken up and he is studying. You got up at 4 o'clock. I am sure he must have gotten up at 3 o'clock. That was the kind of competition. Then there was some Manjunath and Vishwanath. They were also living in the same compound. So, when once what happened, this Pai's mother came to our house. And at that time, the postman came and gave the magazine, SSC magazine to us. I was subscribing to that. She said, don't give it to him because it is for you, I have bought. So this postman came at that time. Then I had to rush and I had to hide it. I don't know, don't know whether she saw it or not. Now why I am saying this, whenever it comes to our own this thing, our children, my husband, my wife, we are so jealous. So we guard their privacy, we give them all the happiness. But when something happens to your neighbor, we don't care actually. If your neighbor is crying, you cannot be happy. If your neighbor is hungry, you can never feel satisfied eating your delicious food. So we have to become, this is called Bhuta Daya. Even Panchamaha Yagnas, one Yagna is Bhuta Yagna. You have to take care of your, I am not saying go and distribute all your money to whoever is needy or poor. I am not saying that. But at least those people who are living with you, those people who are near to you, you have to take some good care of them. That is also necessary. I think I am running out of time. So what we discussed today, I will just briefly recap. Vinash Kale Viparita Buddhi. So don't, whenever you do something, please do moderation. The middle path we call it. Yukta ahara viharasya, yukta chestasya karmasu, yukta swapnava bodhasya, yogi dahati dukkha. Bhagavad Gita Krishna says, always follow the middle path. Don't go this extreme or don't go this extreme. Don't become a leftist or don't become a rightist. You go in the center, then what happens? You will be able to nicely assimilate the spiritual knowledge, and once you get to know the spiritual knowledge, then you are saved. Why? Because Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita, nahi gnanena sadrisham pavitra miha vidyate tatpalam yoga samsiddha kalenatmani vindati. So those people who are coming to temple, who are engaged in some service, who are chanting the holy name, following the rules and regulations of the Shastra, following the 4 regulative principles, all knowledge will be revealed to them in due course. This is the assurance given by Krishna. Tesham yevanu kampartam aham agnanajam tama nashayam yatma bhavasto gnana deepena vasata. So Krishna has that ability. Have full faith in Krishna and safeguard your Krishna consciousness like you are safeguarding your 10,000 BD Rolex watch. Now how you safeguard your Rolex watch, 10,000 worth 10,000 BD, you have to safeguard your Krishna consciousness with so much of care, so much of dedication, so much of passion. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. If any question, no question? Any questions or comments? Are there any questions? Does everybody agree with what I said, or somebody says, Prabhu, what you said is not correct? Feel free.
Hare Krishna, devotees request, please sit down, don't leave the hall.
No questions? Sure? Okay.
Hare Krishna. Temple management thanks all the devotees assembled here for Bhagavatam class and also for attending morning program. And I would like to thank His Grace Rāgānuga Bhaktimān Prabhu for giving a wonderful class. Please chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare.